Fred, what's going on, man? Oh, not much. Yeah, you ready for the show? Yeah, at noon. Man, I just had some hot wings. Holy shit. I just slammed three iced teas. I was going to open the fourth one and, uh-oh. Seems I've drank about 350 milligrams of THC. So if you don't hear from me in a few minutes, buddy, check up on me.
Hello?
Hey, Jason.
Oh, hey, Fred.
I know you're busy as hell. Yeah, I'm looking for V. Have you seen him?
V? No, I haven't talked to him, man. I don't know. Well, check it out. See what you find out. Let me know.
Okay. I appreciate it. Let me know. Thanks. Helpful as always.
Yo,
Hey, Robert. It's Fred.
talk to me.
Yeah. Hey, I'm looking for V.
Who?
You seen him?
No, man, I ain't seen him. No, when you see him, tell him he better have my money.
Okay. Thanks, man.
All right, bye.
I got a better chance of being voted People Magazine's sexiest man alive than you do getting your money back, Robert.
Hey, Fred.
Hey, rookie.
Yeah, aren't you the podcast consigliere?
Eh,
Well, yeah, I'm just lucky they let me out of the basement, you know?
have you seen V?
Ah, I ain't seen him.
Looking all over for him. All right.
I'm the new guy, man. I'm just here to hide the bodies.
Thanks. Should have never left him out of the basement. Ah, there's that motherfucker. Get out of the tree!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm between Jason, my brother. How you doing? Hey, we're celebrating 1 million views channel-wide. We just put this together to thank everyone for watching, sharing, subscribing. Subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps. It really does. If you want to find out what's really going on with guitar-based music worldwide, come to Creativity Talking and find out.
What that?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm between. How you doing, Jason? What's going on, man?
Not much, man. That was great. That was
Hey.
good. It's good.
Congratulations on 1 million views, man. We hit it about right now, maybe an hour ago.
Oh, nice. Very good.
So, yeah, man. So, congrats.
Thank you very much. Congrats to you, and thank you everybody for that.
Absolutely, million views, man. It took us, a few years to get things going, but
We're old and slow, but
we did
we'll get there.
3.5 years worth of views this year, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
All right, and I was editing right up to the last second, and I have very rudimentary editing things here. I don't have the fancy stuff yet, so
I thought it came out good though. It was funny.
thank you. Yeah, it was fun, man. Somewhere I have the Metallica thing. So yeah, we're gonna break down Metallica's Master of Puppets. Great album, man.
Yeah, very good album.
Fantastic album. And if I could just find the deal here. So Jason, you're a big fan of Metallica's
their early stuff, yeah. For sure. And I mean that was I was a big fan of Ride the Lightning as well.
Yeah, we'll do another episode on that one.
Yeah, but no, Masters was, I mean, killer record. And I mean that's kind of the one that I think, you know, looking back, that really sort of put them on the way up, right? Because I think that was the same. That they got on the Ozzy tour on that after the release of that record, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
and that sort of took them to a bigger audience, you know.
And Ozzy hated open. He loved the band, but
can you imagine
to open
following those guys?
Me.
yeah, that's because even in those days they were killing it, you know. Yeah. So you imagine having to follow that every night.
Oh, you know? Totally.
And also, you know, I mean, looking back, I mean, talking really two different genres of metal at the time.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, things, you know, got heavier later on, and you know, it was a lot more different bands. But Metallica, you know, I mean, I remember when Kill 'Em All came out, and man, you know, we weren't used to. I mean, that was like a whole different ball of wax, you know.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, when Metallica hit.
Yeah, and at least those of us on the, you know, the East Coast anyway. I mean, that was, you know, Kill 'Em All was some of our first tastes.
Yeah.
Of, you know, thrash.
Well, I mean, my first taste was the Metal Massacre album.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, "What?" And the fact that thing got everywhere.
Yeah.
Coast to coast, you know. We often talk about
you used to write. Remember, you had to like send in, you know, you had to like write, send a check, or if I remember right, you know, there was like in the back of the metal magazines, you know, they had where you could had like an order form, you know.
Yeah, and Kix always had an ad back there.
Yeah.
KIX, the band Kix.
Yeah.
Great and then but no, when Metallica came out, I mean, Metal Up Your Ass, Ride the Lightning.
Yep.
I mean, that shirt's still everywhere. So is Master of Puppets. But yeah, when Master of Puppets, you know, I mean, just check. I mean, the album covers, first of all, brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it still had the, you know, it wasn't Photoshop yet. So everything was hand drawn, and the Metallica logo was 3D'd, and, you know, and just, dude, every song is just knocked down, amazing, great, you know.
They were definitely hitting their stride when this one came out.
Let's see. So let's see. Producer was Fleming Rasmussen and Metallica, and that was on the Elektra label. Elektra.
They had the bands in the early 80s.
Really good acts on that. Yeah. Oh, my God. You know, Elektra, who's that? You know?
Yeah, they had Motley, you know, early on, Shadow the Devil era.
And, by the way, this is the way this is the...
Uncle Nerky's.
Uncle Nerky's that was referenced in the...
those are the three.
Literally pulled the video out of our asses, by the way, that we just...
Yeah, that's how we do it.
Be too rough on us.
We got big asses. There's lots of stuff.
But it was fun.
There's lots of material.
Yeah. I did it on the fly, you know. And footage came from 3 different states. So everyone took direction very well. Bravo. Yeah. But, Metallica. And, of course... Cliff.
Yeah. I was just looking at Cliff. Yeah, Cliff was he was one of a kind, man.
Yeah, and you got to remember when Metallica came out. You know, always drinking Meisterbrow. But when Metallica came out, dude, a blonde singer came back because everyone they had kind of gone. in that you didn't expect a blonde surfer guy to front that band, like just on an initial visual of seeing.
Yeah.
And then, dude, when he started, not only could he, riff master, but when he opened his mouth,
Yeah.
the world of rock and roll changed because his voice is unlike anyone else.
Yeah, very unique.
Many people have tried to, get the James voice down, but I don't know, man. You just got such an attack on it,
Yeah.
And I have to say, Metallica used to call everyone posers back in the day. Remember, oh, you fucking poser. But I have to say, James Hetfield, when he gets in the guitar pose and he locks down for the breakdown, look out.
Yeah.
The Hetfield stance.
And that right hand, man, is just like a machine.
Unbelievable.
A machine.
Yeah. And I figured we'd do Metallica for this one since Metallica, we did a reaction video on a fluke. And then it was our first video that did anything. And then we started doing that. And now here we are. So we figured, so Metallica was aptly fitting. And also a favored one of the favorite albums of my brother Ray as well. But yeah, dude, everyone, I don't know how many shirts.
Oh,
what do you think? 10 million shirts sold of it?
Seriously,
I'm like, it's got to be up.
Yeah,
I mean, their merchandise is, and man, when they put on a show,
yeah,
people can say whatever they want about Metallica, but there are Rolling Stones.
level
of longevity and
right, and if you would have asked me in like 81, 82, I'd have been. I mean, I loved them.
They're all gonna be dead,
but I would be like, there's no way that this kind of music is gonna be is gonna stick around and do what it
right, because it was really underground, and you heard about this shit, like at the record store. We want this show to be much like the record stores in the 80s in the import section that all the musicians and metalheads would flock to, and that's where you got Metallica, and then you got Metallica, and then you got Anthrax.
Mm-hmm.
And then Metal Church started coming around, and then all these other like holy crap, Fate's Warning, and of course when everyone found the Queensryche EP, holy moly,
yeah.
But you bought albums if they had a kick-ass cover, and how are you not going to buy that album?
Right.
I mean, just fantastic. And Metallica's always put money into their productions. They don't. Put it this way, they know you got to pay good money to see a show. So much like Kiss, they're giving you the big show, but different. No one's in makeup, but they're giving you the spectacle of being the biggest fucking band in the world, because they are the biggest band in the world.
Yeah.
They have, I mean, who tops them? Rolling Stones, they're in their last business cycle. Boom.
Yeah.
Metallica.
Yeah, I mean they've been around forever at this point,
Right.
So
Lars, dude, I feel sorry for Lars. That's a long fucking show, bro.
Oh yeah.
And the thing that they did this year, I thought was really cool. Everyone's getting older. We only tour 2 weeks here, then we go home. But they do a hub. Anyway, hub touring is basically where you have a house. You may rent a house and it's central to everything, and you always go back to that house during your tour in the United States or whatever. But what they did is when you bought tickets, they're like, they probably, for the size of their show, they probably had to book it for X amount of days to begin with. And they figured they probably raised the price another 60% to give you another day, but still compensated for the bill. Anyway, so when you have as Jason well knows, when you have a production that size, you have 3 of those sets. One's being built, one's performing, and then the third one is being torn down. So these guys, they go, okay, we'll give you a show on Friday night, and then on Sunday, you got another show. Completely different set list. dude, why didn't anyone else think about that? Like, why hasn't anyone else done that? That was pretty slick, I thought.
Yeah.
And, you know, well worth your buck. You don't want to hear, you know, but the amount that they play live is they play a long show. So you're going to get,
Right.
you know, stuff that you haven't heard in maybe 20 years or 30.
Yeah.
Or never, you know, but, you know, Metallica, master.
Hey, there's ATL jumping on. The bandmate rode a bus from Seattle, LA, Austin to Philly to New York and ended in Chicago in 3.5 weeks.
Nice.
Very good. Yeah, they young and hungry, you know.
Bandmade. They got something coming out, I think, soon, or it just came out. I don't know. Yeah, hey, ATL. We're celebrating 1 million views. So that's pretty damn cool. Channel finally broke 1 million views, so we are celebrating tonight. Probably should get that graphic in here, huh? Look at that.
Very nice.
Very nice. The first million's the toughest.
Isn't that the truth?
Uh-huh. Holy crap sauce.
Right.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Hey, okay, ATL, we're going to start breaking down the album. If you have a favored Metallica tune, let us know. Go ahead,
Vince, I got to say, you know, I think the first 4,000 was pretty rough, too.
Oh, my God.
Thought we'd never get there.
The first 1,000 probably took us a year and a half.
Yeah. That's back when I used to check. I was like,
oh my God. And we used to do like, so it would be me, Robin, Jason, and we would literally get hammered. 3-hour shows. No one listened. It basically gave us an excuse to hang out. We're at home anyway.
It's basically what the show started out as, you know, it was like hang with your buddies that are in other states, you know.
Welcome to the living room. Hey, why don't we put this on the fucking internet? The shit that we talk about, you know. EP soon, no dates outside of Asia this year, as far as gotcha.
Yeah.
Uncle Nurkles, or whatever you call him, Nurkle.
Nurky.
Uncle Nurky.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so recorded September 1st through December 27th, 1985. Okay, September. Okay. So almost 3 months. No, wait. All of September, all of October, September, October, November. Basically 4 months. And probably they were probably drunk 3.5 of those.
No, I'm sure.
And the studio was Sweet Silence in Copenhagen.
Yeah.
And known, as we were talking earlier, they're used to, you know, I don't really hear that term being thrown around often, but thrash metal.
Yeah.
You know, thrash came out of nowhere and it was still metal. And that's like when they started breaking it. You know, you had like people like Yngwie and you had Sabotage, and they were kind of Sabotage, and then like Maiden was kind of classically influenced. So people started overthinking shit when they were high and subcategorized shit. And, you know, next thing you know, you had the thrash movement, not. And man, a lot of fun music coming out at that time.
Yeah,
lots of fun. And so Metallica. So this is released March 3rd, 1986. The height of hair band metal, the height of makeup and glam, and style over substance. And then Metallica came in and you know, stole all your beer,
right.
Knifed your tires, took your old lady, and went on to the next town. But what a great band.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Live, you just can't beat them live, man.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yep, always a good show. Yeah.
Metallica. Alrighty.
trying to think. Did I see them on that tour?
It's the band's final album to feature bassist Cliff Burton while touring in support of Master of Puppets. He died on December 27th, 1986, after the band's tour bus was involved in an accident in Sweden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was crazy. I remember that.
From Wikipedia, by the way. So if it's wrong, don't blame me. Whatever. The album's artwork, designed by Metallica and Peter Mensch and painted by Don Brodingham, depicts a cemetery field of white crosses tethered to strings manipulated by a pair of hands and a clouded blood red sky with a fierce orange glow on the horizon. Hence James Hetfield's struggle with religion at the time. The album is the band's most recent to date to feature a runtime of under an hour. Instead of releasing a single or a video in advance of the album, okay. People who weren't there don't get that. That's a stupid sentence. Metallica embarked, instead of releasing a stupid video in advance of the album's release, Metallica embarked on a 5-month American tour in support of Ozzy. European leg was canceled after Burton's death in September of 86. Then the band returned home to audition a new bassist. The reason why I said that is stupid is because Metallica always had the position that they would never make a music video. So that's someone who's obviously born after doing research and then putting shit in. But because it was a thing, like it was no, fuck that, we're not doing videos.
Yeah, and then and I think One was the first video that they ever did that, but that was on Injustice,
right?
You know?
But think about it, Jason. So in a time when everyone was spending $2 million on a music video, $2 million, $10 million, which probably turned into $80 million that bands have to pay back after everything's said and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
That just catapulted them that much further because they weren't.
Yeah. They weren't in debt right off the get-go.
Right. Not that way.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the record company shit that everybody, that was sort of like the necessary evil back then. But, all the studio time and everything, you were on the hook for. But,
oh, yeah. And it's not like they were marketing Metallica.
Yeah. Yeah, they weren't getting pushed.
Yeah, they weren't on MTV.
A&R,
they didn't need MTV. That's the other different thing. Metallica got huge
on their own, pretty much.
Before, right after Masters of Puppets, they were still that kind of made him like the king of the heap of the thrash guys.
Yeah.
Not to us, but to
the other Bay Area bands and stuff, like their peers. Yeah. Yeah.
And they weren't the next album yet when they.
Right.
But so they got huge, and they had crossover before they had videos. In a time where you couldn't break through, you could have airplay, but if you didn't have a music video, you weren't on the top 10 or the top 20, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, but you know what? And they weren't going to get any airplay in those days anyway. That stuff was still too heavy for rock radio. You know what I mean?
Limited airplay.
Yeah.
They broke through.
Yeah.
Word of mouth. Massive.
Yeah. Oh, it was total word of mouth. Because like you just went through. They didn't have, they didn't have radio. They didn't have airplay or videos.
Yeah.
So it was all just old fashioned, just, get on the bus and tour,
Yeah.
And just play. Yeah. And all that considered, again, makes the fact of where they are now even more amazing.
Okay. Yeah. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
Hey, Rob, I'm sending you a new link. We had to switch because I was probably high. But anyway.
Most likely.
Yeah. No, I was doing the last of the video editing, so I was all. But yeah, this link will work, Rob. But yeah, I mean, the word of mouth was massive.
Right.
I remember the first time ever I saw your face. What's up, Rob?
There you are.
What's happening, Rob?
Hold on a second. I gotta shut off
I got to shut out the feed because I'm getting feedback and everything. So
Feedback.
here we go. Here we go. I was watching you guys. I'm like, dude, what's going on here?
Yeah, I totally fucking do. But
Hello.
hey, what's going on?
Not much. I just got home not too long ago.
Yeah, you came from a show, right?
I did. I came from the Paramount. I was shooting. Well, the headliner was "Appetite for Destruction." They're obviously a Guns N' Roses tribute band, and they opened up with "Damaging," which is a Metallica tribute band. All that was missing was a Faith No More.
Damage Incorporated,
and that would have been a flashback to 1992.
Yeah,
I was at that festival in Orchard Park, but I got to be honest, man, I was not happy with Appetite.
Yeah,
no,
but Damaging killed it, man.
Right,
they sounded great.
Faith No More was a great band.
They were.
Yeah,
they were.
What is it?
And then they went into what, Mr. Bugle?
Yep.
So it's
in the juggle.
So how are you guys doing, Jason? I haven't seen you forever.
I know. Same old here. You know, working all the time.
Well, cheers, brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know, or I don't know if you caught it.
Did you see the video?
I did not.
Right now, before the show started, guess what?
What? Nice.
Yeah, baby.
Nice. Congrats, brother.
Thank you. 1 million views on the channel.
Congrats.
And, me and Jason were talking earlier that it started, all three of us would get hammered for like 3 hours on the internet, just like we're talking anyway. So, hey, why don't we take it off the fucking the video phone and put it on the on the internet?
Too much fun.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, after this is done, I'll show you the video that we did to open the show that you were in.
How'd it come out?
It was good.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if I had a better editing system and like labs, but I don't have, labs with I'll grab one of those wireless labs. But
oh yeah,
I've got a hardwired. But
I was thinking about getting one of those RF labs too. There's a package that comes out that can plug right into my camera, and it's got two logs, one for me and a guest, and then the
I dropped 2 logs today.
2? That's it.
Right.
Dude, you know tell you how long they are, though.
You know what bugs me about those lavalier? It's not okay. Let me rephrase. You know what bugs me about the users of said
lavalier mic,
wireless lavalier mics?
I can only imagine.
Hi, I'm here in Tennessee, Arizona. So when you want to see me,
and it looks like they're holding like half of a dead hamster.
I know.
With the hair on it. Like, I'm like, you can put that
on your shirt.
Yeah, right out of frame. See this? See?
Yeah.
In frame, out of frame, in frame, out of frame.
It's funny. You and I, so we're also old school. There's just so many things that just get under our skin, man.
Absolutely.
And like
daily.
Even on a photography group. Oh, I'm filming a band. I'm like, you use film? That's got to be expensive. And they don't get it.
Yeah.
Even if they said videotape, I'm like, oh wow, VHS, that
right.
8mm. What kind of videotape are you using?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Man. Yeah, terminology matters.
It does. It really does.
Yeah.
Words matter,
especially if you're trying to be a professional about it.
I was gonna say there's no better way to spot a rookie than certain things that come out like that. You know?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
All the time.
So
all the time. Yeah. So let's see here.
Where's the other washed up genius?
Yeah, who knows? He pops in from time to time.
Dude, isn't that awesome?
That is hilarious.
Washed up genius. Vin, V, and Jason are washed up geniuses.
And then Fred the Consigliere. That's a great name.
Oh yeah.
Where's he on this fine Saturday night?
He's probably at a show somewhere.
Oh,
At the show or a graduation party for a family.
Oh,
member,
yeah.
something like that.
Mm.
But 'tis the time of year.
Yeah.
But he was the main star of this video.
He really was. He did great. I didn't know
yeah?
he had it in him. Yeah, he's quite the
We'll be
actor.
doing a lot more of these now that I know that I'm like, okay, I made this one a little bit more complicated than it should have been, but it was like, okay, now I know.
Yeah.
I know that's what I was thinking too the other day when you were I was telling you the video that I wanted to make. All of a sudden, all these thoughts are going in my head, and just like, dude, I'm making it so much more than what it has to be.
Right. He's like, yeah, what do you want me to? I'm like, I don't know, just make it, just robify it, you know. Whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fun, man. It reminded me of when I was out shooting with Fred. Totally reminded me of
Art
back in
Institute
college.
days.
All
Yeah.
of us out in the fucking
Scouting locations that we had
Banana
available to
boat.
us.
yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the tripod? You know, to get
The
the tripod.
banana boat parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had so much. Yeah.
We had to
Those of
sign
you-
out cameras,
Yeah.
from the
For
school.
those of you who don't know, all three of us went to college together and were roommates this way and that way and that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, we go back a long time, and holy shit, dude, so many times, I'm like, oh, man, I'm glad I'm not hungover doing this.
Yeah.
Oh, the times. The fun.
And then it was off to the editing suites.
Oh yeah,
And
I'll have to edit it.
Yeah.
wickle, wickle.
Yeah, and then everyone with their opinion who didn't edit.
Yeah.
Nice. Good old Mr. Orville Thompson, man, at the
Orville.
edit
Yeah.
speeds.
Orville and Steve.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Mr. Steve Schwab, the professor.
Sorry, I didn't shave before the episode.
Oh, no worry. Here's another person we went to college with.
Andrew
So if you see Andrew,
Sheffield.
Peddling some kosher hot dogs somewhere.
let
Maybe.
us know. Uh-huh.
Most likely pushing them on a vegan somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I've seen him do that.
this is a goal for this season, is to get this animated or something.
Yeah, that would be great.
He was the last thing they expected.
He was the last thing they expected. Right. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, please don't do coke in the bathroom. Oh, here's another one for you, Rob.
Uh-oh. There you go. Nice.
Look at that. Yeah. For single ladies.
Hi, single ladies.
Ladies.
Just kidding.
So
All
you're
right.
thinking about Metallica.
Yes. Thank you for getting me back.
Yeah. He's under the influence of Uncle Nurky right now.
Yeah. That's all. Yeah. How much alcohol have you ingested today, sir? Okay, so Master of Puppets peaked at number 29 on the Billboard 200. Billboard, not the Billborg. That's in the Star Trek universe. Received widespread acclaim from critics. No, it didn't. He praised its music and political lyrics.
According to who?
This is a Wikipedia, so I said,
There you go. There you go.
Right.
but it's widely regarded to be one of the greatest and most influential metal albums of all time. I agree. And it is credited with consolidating the American thrash metal scene. Consolidating? Interesting. It was certified 8 times platinum, but nice, by the Recording Industry Association of America in 2025 for shipping 8 million copies in the United States, and was later certified 6 times platinum by Music Canada and platinum by the British Photographic Industry. That's amazing. Master of Puppets became the first metal recording to be selected by the Library of Congress for preservation in the National Recording Registry for being culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant.
Well, how about that?
Wow. The world's come around. How'd that slip by?
Mm-hmm.
All the people who worked in the government who were in the drama department. It's like it's the same people, like, wouldn't you think one of the qualifications for working for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame would be that, I don't know, you're a fan of rock and roll?
Yeah, you would think. Been saying that for years.
You knew a little something about music, maybe that'd be a good start.
Bonus. That would be bonus.
All right.
The album caught the attention of Elektra Records representative Michael Alago, who signed the group to an 8-album deal in the fall of '84. Elektra reissued Ride the Lightning on November 19th, and the band began touring larger venues and festivals throughout '85. After parting with manager John Zazula, Metallica hired Q Prime executives Cliff Bernstein and Peter Mensch. During the summer, the band played the Monsters of Rock Festival at Castle Donington alongside Bon Jovi and Rat to an audience of 70,000 people. Nice. James and Lars, of course, are the main songwriters of the album. The two developed ideas at a garage in El Cerrito, California, before inviting Cliff Burton and guitarist Kirk Hammett for rehearsals. Yeah, dude, I remember. Do you remember the day Cliff Burton died?
Remember the what?
Do you remember the day Cliff Burton died?
Yes. Yep. I do.
Dude, it was crazy.
He went to the front windshield of his bus.
Yeah, and the bus crushed him.
Yeah.
But, we had a pretty big metal contingent at our high school. We had a big high school, like 3,000 people. It was man.
Yeah, everybody was shocked. We were like,
oh, yeah, totally. Here's this guy in his prime. And everyone knew Cliff because he was different, because he was the hippie metal guy.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't like heavy metal. He just played it.
Yeah, he was wearing his Canadian tuxedo and, But, I mean, and then, come on, anesthesia, pulling teeth. I mean, that was like.
I have a video, a VHS called Cliff 'Em All.
Yeah.
I want to get that transferred digitally. I don't know if I can get that.
I
can get a DVD or Blu-ray, but yeah, it's a collector's.
Yeah, I had it. I don't know. It's probably in storage somewhere, or
Yeah. But the funny thing is about the Master Puppets. When I made the jump over to CDs finally, because people are making fun of me, I bought a CD player, a cassette player, and obviously the radio. But the first 5 CD, I bought 5 CDs. One was Master Puppets. Another one was Appetite for Destruction. I got the Eagles, the best of.
Ah, great.
All great
records.
Ozzy Osbourne's Ozzy and Randy Rhoads
tribute.
And
that's so good.
I always forget the fifth one, but I guess it doesn't matter. But
Boston?
No,
Gary Moore?
Huh?
Gary Moore?
Maybe. I forget who I was listening to back then, but that may have been. So, but probably be a pretty good guess.
Yeah.
But I gave all my my entire CD collection to my uncle when I moved out of my house in Buffalo.
Nice.
Yeah.
And of course, we want to thank Rob for coming on today. Go to robarmstrongphotos.com and Long Island Sounds podcast and page and place where you can get rock and roll photography done the right way. If you're in the New York area, give Rob a jingle.
I'm branching out too, by the way. I had a friend of mine, well, not a friend, a potential client, I should say, asked me last week. I ran into him at a show. He goes, "Hey, do you do video?" I'm like, "Well, I don't really, but I do have 3 cameras, so I could potentially do video." So now, my brainstorm today, my brain drizzle was maybe doing one-on-one interviews and kind of like sway away from the podcast, and then just kind of like I have the lighting kit, I've got the backdrops, and I got the cameras.
Yeah.
And I got a couple of props that I could, do on location, and maybe do like a Long Island Sounds one-on-one, just me and whoever I'm interviewing. So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
so that's
Absolutely.
Why not?
potential. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
exactly.
Yeah.
There's so much talent here on Long Island. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, it's a great place. Yeah.
Yeah. That's me.
Nice. Nice. Metallica, Master of Puppets. Dude, Orion?
Mm-hmm.
That's just insane.
It's so deep, man.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is, though, the thing about Metallica, I can't really appreciate them on an album. When I see them live, it's like a totally different.
Yeah.
You feel it, and it goes right through you. It goes into you. But listening to a CD or something like that, you just can't appreciate the thunder of Metallica.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and that's funny how with the bands that I've seen over the past couple of years, one of, I forget who it was, they opened with Rob Zombie, Dragula. And I don't really care for that song on radio, but when you play that at 110 dBs,
right.
it's
Sometimes
awesome.
they'll translate, man.
It is awesome.
Plain and simple, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the writing of all songs except Orion and The Thing That Should Not Be was completed before the band's arrival in Copenhagen. Rasmussen stated that the band brought well-preserved demos of the songs and only slight changes were made to the compositions in the studio. Took longer because they had a sense of perfectionism and they got ambitious, basically.
Mm.
Let's see. Rasmussen and Metallica did not manage to complete the mixtape as planned. Michael Wagner finished the album's mixing. Okay.
That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Yeah, but that makes total sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
The cover was designed by Metallica. The original work was sold at Rockefeller Plaza for $28,000 in 2008. All right, the band mocked the warning stickers promoted by the PMRC with the facetious parental advisory label on the cover. The only track you probably won't want to play is Damage Inc. due to the multiple use of the infamous F word. Oop. Otherwise, there aren't any shits, fucks, pisses, cunts, motherfuckers, or cocksuckers anywhere on this record. All right, little George Carlin in there. That's nice. Hammett's guitar used a 75 Gibson Flying V and a Jackson Randy Rhodes and a Fernandez Stratocaster copy. Did I say that right?
Yeah, Fernandez, yeah.
Hetfield used a Jackson King 5 played through a Mesa Boogie Mark II C Plus amplifier that had a modded preamp. Burton played a Area Pro 2 SB1000 through a Mega Boogie. Mega Boogie.
I know her.
Yeah, me too. Mega Boogie amplifier heads and cabinets. Ulrich played Tama drum equipment and borrowed a rare Ludwig Black Beauty snare drum from Def Leppard drummer Rick Allen. I'm Casey Kasem, and this is America's Top 40.
What beef?
Basically, the songs, you know, themes, control, abuse, power, blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, James Hetfield is an incredible songwriter.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
You know,
They weren't using knuckle draggers?
right?
No, much too early for that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Let's see. Hold on here. All right. We're gonna do an in-show tunage.
Faux show.
Here we go. I chose this version for a reason. It's fucking pouring. It is pouring ass rain. Anyone else, dude, would have canceled the show. And this is what heavy metal's all about. And the fact that Metallica did it without blinking an eye, hell yeah. Horns up, boys. That's how I wake up every morning.
Hell yeah.
Dude, no one can play a riff like James Hetfield. Look at those, like you were saying.
The right hand of doom, man.
Oh, nice. The right. Dude, the fact that he's still playing, you know how many splashes he's his eyes must be fucking killing him.
And I mean, let's not ignore the ever-present danger of shock.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking about too.
Yeah, that's
shock me. Make me feel better.
Right.
That is implied, good sir. You know, and when this came out, this was like a complicated tune.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Metallica always has a lot of changes in their song, more than other bands did at the time, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, so you could hear there was always a lot going on. But Jason, so what do they do? Can they save these instruments, or are these instruments basically fucked after the show?
Well, no, I mean, depending the level of waterlog, I mean, they can, you know, dry out. I mean, they're certainly going to need adjustments and you know, probably pull the pickups out and dry everything out really good.
But yeah, put it like a dehumidifier or some kind of chamber, you know.
Either that. I mean, you know, obviously you could run a dehumidifier, and you know, and that would help. But or you just let it go gradually. You know, let it dry gradually is probably best.
Yeah, I just think that the neck.
I mean, it's possible. You know, it depends. Sometimes they can be saved, though.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, but they probably just figured, you know what, it is what it is. We got more.
Of course.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
You know, Lars always catch a bunch of shit for his playing.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I enjoy it.
I enjoy it too, but a professional drummer of mine told me that he is way off.
Doesn't matter. It fits the song.
I said the same thing. I said, I'm not a drummer.
Right.
And he makes me feel the music, and that's what matters to me.
Yeah. I never understood that, man. And ha ha ha, all the way to the bank, says Lars. Right on, Lars. Fuck yeah.
Taste me, we'll see. More is all you need. Dedicated to
And James' voice has changed over the years. You know, he's gone through different styles. You know, he went and he got vocal lessons, not a slam. He just did.
Mm-hmm.
And every person who's a singer should, because it teaches them how to get their voice to last longer.
Mhm.
And so recently he's gone back, it seems like, to much of the older sound. And but there was a period there where he totally changed through his way of singing, you know, like throughout you know, like Load and Reload.
Yeah, his Frank Sinatra stuff sucks.
His what?
His Frank
Fly me to the moon, yeah. And the fact that the people in the people in the audience probably thinks this is the best concert they've ever been to, because they hung out during the rain, and the rain don't bother them. The rain don't bother them. I'm sure this was a really awesome show to be at,
Right.
despite the moisture.
Is that at Wembley?
I'm not quite sure.
Looks like the roof of the Wembley.
Yeah. I remember when this first came out,
Oh man.
and you thought the song was over,
Yeah.
and you're like, no.
Let's do this together, Manchester.
Dude, such a fierce tune. And everyone's like, why are you stopping it? Well, you got to stop, otherwise you get pulled for copyright.
All I hear
Dude, no one does a breakdown like Metallica. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, just
So many layers.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Dude, that audience is just like
singing along.
Rain? What rain?
yeah, absolutely, man. Shit. You know, that is incredibly awesome, man. The energy that's coming off of this show.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Forgot about that.
Hell yeah, man. Absolutely. So yeah, we're gonna wrap up this edition of a Tunage In Show, and we'll be right back for those who are watching the live stream. Oh. Anyway, all right. So how. Yeah, Battery. Track number 1.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Holy crap. Track number 2 we just reacted to. Master of Puppets. 3, The Thing Should Not Be.
Thing that should not be, yeah. Another great one.
Yeah.
Yep.
4, Welcome Home Sanitarium. Dude, I can't tell you how many times that song got replayed.
No shit.
Oh.
I'm with you on that one.
Rewind, flip the tape over. Rewind, flip the tape over. Shit, rewind, flip
Well,
the
you
tape
know, if
over.
you had a CD player.
Right. Well, I'm talking, pre-CD player.
Yeah.
When you jammed your Master of Puppets in your Levi's jean jacket, And that was just side 1. 4 songs.
Mm-hmm.
Side 2, Disposable Heroes. Leper Messiah.
Oh, Oh yeah,
Oh, great one.
that is a good one.
God. This whole album is then Orion or Oregon, however,
Orion.
Orion, whatever.
Yep.
It's an instrumental. And then, of course, Damage Incorporated.
Yeah.
One of the best songs ever.
Mm-hmm.
For a total length of 54 minutes and 52 seconds. And bonus tracks on the digital reissue that Rob has, probably. Track number 9 is Battery Live. And then track number 10 is The Thing That Should Not Be Live. For a running total of 66 minutes and 42 seconds.
The only complaint I had about that video is that they didn't show Trujillo as much as I wanted.
Right.
He is so animated. I love watching him play.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, great bass player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see any crab walks in there, you know.
It's a new guy. He's the new guy.
Right.
But no, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah. So that was best albums of all time, the Metallica edition. But first, let's get to some comments. Hey, look at that. Polska Bob, Bandmade Moratorium live in Zep Tokyo. We will check that out. Thank you very much for the super chat. Metallica, all right. Metallica can F off, greatest rock and roll band ever, Poe. Basically, he wants you guys to know more about Bandmade. So yeah. Really? Oh, okay. Question marks. Boys, really? Yeah, we don't do live on request. That was anymore. And sorry about that, guys. I made a request. All right. Feel free. Anyway, so that's wrapping up the Metallica segment. Jason, you got anything to say, brother?
No, just I think I probably need to revisit some of the old stuff. It's been a while. You kind of.
Oh shit, I agree.
Yeah, you got me kind of wanting to go back in time a little bit now.
I want to dig out my vinyl too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So 1 million views on the got that right before the Metallica episode started today. So thanks to everyone for watching and donating and doing super chats and everything and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, so this is best album of all time, the Metallica edition. And we'll see you guys all next time. And love you guys. Thank you guys for sharing the ride with me. That 1 million views, 1 million laughs, and 1 million drinks, maybe.
Got that right.
But definitely 1 million milligrams of THC, probably. Anyway, so love you guys. Thank you very much. Love you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Jason, final words.
Keep it in your sneaker. Is that what you were looking for?